How's everyone? Today I'm here with my PWG 13 live review slash experience course. This show happened last Friday. I know I'm a week late with this video. Main reason being the fact that A, when I came home, I was extremely tired from the trip, so I wanted to relax a little bit. And of course, knowing my luck, this happens to me all the time when I come home from trips. I get sick, and that was the case here. I had a sore throat for like a day. It's fine now, and right now, just my nose is pretty stuffed up and dripping a lot. So I've been sick, so that's another reason why I'm trying to push the video back a little bit. I was trying to wait till I was better, but like I said, my throat's fine now, but my nose is still a little stuffed up. So you can probably tell in my voice, mainly because of my nose. So I apologize for that throughout the video. So that's just a little reasoning why this video is a week late. It's because, like I said, just, trying to relax in from the trip, and I got sick. And am I the only person that gets sick when they come back from trips? Every time I go on a trip, within a few days, I get sick when I come home. I don't know if it's like the weather change, even though it's not a significant weather change from here to Los Angeles. I don't know what it is, but I always seem to get sick when I come home from trips. So just a little rant there. But yeah, of course, PWG. I was able to make the trip out there, which almost didn't happen because the morning of Friday last week, I actually woke up and I was puking a lot. In the shower. I was in the shower, puking everywhere. It was not a fun time, to the point where I almost canceled the trip. I almost had to cancel going out to Los Angeles / Rosita. I just was not feeling it, because I had a flight at 8:45. I believe my flight was in the morning, because of course the morning flights are the cheaper ones. And I couldn't make the first one. I said, listen, I gotta call and see if I can get a later flight. I was able to get a later flight, which is like, I think 10:05 it took, or 10:10 I think the flight left. So a little bit over an hour later, which to me was like, I don't know if I'll make that, because to me, I don't know when I'm gonna feel better. It may take hours, it may take 10 minutes, I don't know. So the fact that it was only a little bit over an hour extra rest, I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel. I was really hoping to get like an afternoon flight. But I was only able to get a 10:10 flight, which actually worked out, because by the time I was able to go to the airport and get ready to go, I was actually feeling perfectly fine. So thankfully it all played out right. I got there, I think it was like 11:45ish I got there. So I got there about an hour and a half later than I should have. But what are you going to do? Like I said, I didn't feel well at all in the morning. The trip almost didn't happen because of it, so thankfully it did. And just a little thing that happened that morning. I got to Los Angeles, like I said, around 11:45ish. I'm not going to go over the entire day. I'm not going to go over the entire trip. Just I want to talk about my experience getting the show and everything in between until after I left. So originally, I wanted to get to the show, or to the American Legion Hall, around 3:30ish, because we had GA tickets. I want to get there as soon as possible, get the best seats possible. Long story short, due to delays and due to just traffic and a whole bunch of different things going on, we didn't get there until about 4:30ish, between there. So we got there about an hour to an hour and a half later than I'd like to have shown up. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think it affected us at all. I think we got great seats, if not better seats than what we were supposed to get. And like there wasn't really many people there anyway, so I don't think it really affected us anyway. So we just would have sat out an extra hour and a half. So it's pretty good that we didn't go as early as what we wanted to, or I wanted to at least. We sat it there. We were smart enough. Me and Luke, by the way, if you don't know him, Luke Carey, follow him on Twitter and everything. He was the person I went with on the show. He was the one that I had the weekend with. So yeah, we went to the show. We were smart enough from last time, because we went there 2 years ago. We stood in line for about 3 hours. We smartened up, brought chairs this time, so me and him sat in the chairs in the sun, which actually was not bad at all. The weather, it was hot, but let me tell you, it was not nearly as hot as it was 2 years ago. I swear, 2 years ago we went for PWG 11, we were boiling outside, and this year it was pretty bearable. It was I was sweating in line, but like it wasn't nearly as hot as it was a few years ago. We saw some wrestlers arrive, like the Young Bucks. Sami Callihan showed up with Zack, Sabre Jr., Marty, Scurll, and I think someone else. I forgot who was in the car. But Sami Callihan cannot park for shit, by the way, because he took up 2 spots when he parked. Selfish prick. No, I'm kidding, but yeah, he can't park for shit. He even tried twice to park. He pulled in, and he pulled back out, and pulled back up, and he still parked shittily. So good one going there, Sami. But yeah, we just watched people come by. The line was fun, besides the prick in the Ultimate Warrior shirt that was shit-talking Dana Bryan in Game of Thrones. But besides that, the line was pretty easy to sit through. Good group of people. Some guys going around giving food out. It was like donuts and like brownie or something like that. I don't know. He was handing out. I didn't take any, but he was handing out donuts toward the end of the line. And yeah, we only stayed out there for about two and a half hours, so it wasn't that much of a drag. It actually kind of went by pretty easily. Everyone was able to get in. We got in. Let me get my wallet here. Of course, here is the ticket stub of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla 11, not 11, 13, sorry. General admission. So that's a ticket. It's pretty small. It's like a business card almost. So that was cool. Always love having ticket stubs. We got in. Immediately, we thought we found aisle seats, because that was really what I wanted to get, was the second row aisle seats. We think those are free, so we pretty much dart right to them. But, sorry, my nose is dripping. Yeah, we go there, we dart to them, but then we notice the ticket stubs on the seats. We're like, fuck, oh well. And then, we're looking for seats, and we're actually able to find second row seats to the, if you're coming towards, you're coming out to go to the ring, it's towards the right. So we were able to get second row seats. I think it was a seat or two from the end row. So we ended up getting great seats regardless. The ring's right in front of us. So great seats there. No complaints from me. We watched the guys, sell merchandise. Poor Brian Cage was right in front of us. I don't think he sold one thing. He looked miserable. He was on his phone. He actually left early because, like I said, he wasn't selling anything. So I felt bad for the guy. Sami Callihan and Trevor were in front of us as well, trying to sell merch. And they didn't sell much from what I saw. Not, dissing the guys, but just, what I saw. And then, of course, I said, it's time for me to meet somebody. And, of course, got in the line to meet none other than the Young Bucks once again. Of course, the Young Bucks are one of my favorite tag teams right now. And they're two great guys. And, honestly, I don't have any trouble giving those guys my money anytime. I can meet them 10,000 times, and, honestly, I'd have no problem giving them 20 every single time. Went up there. Nick was selling the t-shirts in the ring. Matt was on the other side of the ring doing something. I forgot what he's doing. I think he was talking to somebody, or just, I don't know what he's doing. I said, hey, Nick, can I get this shirt for 20? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And the shirt I got I thought it was fucking badass, I don't even know what the hell this is. Actually, looks like this is a ripoff of the Suicide Squad? Looks like the Suicide Squad poster. If it is, I just like this shirt a lot more now, because I really want to see the Suicide Squad, despite the reviews I've been reading. Plan on seeing that soon, hopefully. So it's a badass shirt. I actually like this more now, considering I think it's a Suicide Squad ripoff. Let me put that shirt right here, so you guys have the pleasure of looking at that the entire time, the rest of the video. But, yeah, I got the shirt from Nick. He sold it to me. I said, hey, Nick, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, no problem. Then, of course, he had to hassle Matt to come over. I'd go over there and tell him, oh, yeah, take a picture real quick. And, came over, took a picture of the Bucks. Nice guys, as always. Didn't really have a conversation with them. If you guys watched my PWG 11 experience, I had a pretty lengthy conversation with Nick, at least, last time. But here, it was kind of just rushed, and I kind of just, gave him a 20, took a t-shirt, took a picture. So, it was pretty lightning quick meeting them, and then after that I sat down because there really wasn't anyone else selling merch that I really wanted to meet. I wanted to really meet Roderick Strong, but he wasn't selling merch at that time, so I wasn't able to get him there. So the Young Bucks were the only people I met prior to the show. So yeah, I pretty much just sat back and just watched, wrestlers sell merch and get ready for the show. Of course, before the show started, I don't know what time the show started, to be perfectly honest. I don't keep track of time at shows. But the show started. Of course, Excalibur comes out and cuts his infamous pre-match promos, saying how tonight's a special night because it's featuring a tag team match. And if you've been keeping up with PWG this year, they haven't been getting enough guys for tag team matches, so we pretty much get only singles matches on these shows now. So the fact that there was a tag team match is a pretty big deal. And then, of course, they did tease the Super Dragon, because, Excalibur was thanking everyone for their not services, like we're the freaking military or something, but he was just thanking the fans for the 13 years of support, and someone was flickering the lights on and off, playing with Excalibur, giving the illusion Super Dragon's going to come out, which I thought was pretty funny. So, great opening promo there from Excalibur. If you went to any PWG show, he pretty much said, after he thanked everyone, he pretty much said everything he says, how every month is Women's Month, and how every week is Shark Week, and how every day is Earth Day. His infamous pre-show promo, which I thought was great. Legion and Larry even got on it a little bit at ringside. Sorry about that. And, yeah, just a great little pre-match pre-show promo by Excalibur. From there on, we go to our opening bout, which was Adam Cole versus Brian Cage. I thought this was a really good opener here. Adam Cole played his typical strongest man in the ring gimmick when he faces the bigger guys. I thought him and Cage had an awesome match. Like I said, I thought both of them reflected well. You know, Adam Cole's obviously the smaller guy of the two, but I think the big man, little man thing really works, especially in PWG. I think they just work really, really well and complement each other. They put on a very fun match. Adam Cole being your typical heel, being the douchebag heel, which I thought was great, and you know, Brian Cage's machine. So they put on a really good fun opener. A lot of near falls as well, to the point where I thought Brian Cage was going to win. Thought Adam Cole was going to win. A lot of near falls. Very exciting opening match. The crowd was red hot for this. Very, very fun. Pretty lengthy match. So I want to say about 15 minutes or so. And yeah, it was a very fun opener. Adam Cole got the victory with, from what I read, he held the ropes, but I didn't see him hold the ropes. I think from my angle, I just didn't see it. But Adam Cole won with the rope and won the match, and Brian Cage pretty much had like a what the fuck just happened type of thing happen. So yeah, great opener, had a lot of fun. Adam Cole's awesome, love him, and Brian Cage is the machine. From there, I'm gonna go to Roderick Strong versus Timothy Thatcher. Wasn't expecting Roddy's match to be this early, but it is what it is. Here's story time here. Now, my focus was not in this match, and I'll explain why. Very early on the match, because I'm a huge Roderick Strong fan. Very excited to see Roderick Strong. Timothy Thatcher, love Timothy Thatcher's work, and he's from Sacramento, which is a big 2 thumbs up from me. So it's pretty funny because when the ring announcer said from Sacramento, California, I popped, and some guys like, Sacramento? Like, why is this guy popping for? He doesn't know I'm from there. So I popped for that, the announcement, and then about pretty early on in the match, Roderick Strong slides out of the ring. Roderick Strong walks right in front of us, and no one sat in front of, well, someone sat in front of me, but there's an empty seat next to the guy that sat in front of me. So Roderick Strong's come around the corner, and I get up, and I pat Roderick Strong in the back as he's walking by, and I stand back. And Roderick Strong takes about 2-3 steps, and then he just fucking stares daggers into me. And I have never froze like that in my entire life. When he did that, I froze, and my hand pointed this way, because Luke was sitting next to me right here. So when Roderick turned around, I just went... I fucking froze, and I don't know, like a fucking typical like fucking 6-year-old or something to blame the kid next to him. I don't know why the hell I pointed right to Luke for, just to be like, hey, he did it, not me. I don't know. It was an immediate reaction for some reason for me, and Roderick stares daggers into me. I'm pointing at Luke, blaming it on him, and it was just like one of those moments, like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? So you know, Roderick Strong plays an excellent heel in PWG, and he scared the shit out of me, to say the least, and yeah, that was a moment I don't think I'll ever forget, and that kind of threw me off, because I was kind of recovering from that moment, and at the same time, I was having some communication issues, not communication, but miscommunications, and just something was going on that just was 2 different perspectives going on with a friend, so that was kind of, you know, distracting me as well, since I was getting into it with a friend about something that just, we're fine now, but at the time was just something was going on, and we're just having miscommunication about something, and just, you know, I'm not going to go in detail about it, but I was distracted for this match, to be perfectly honest, by those 2 things. Mainly Roddy, though, because I honestly just scared the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But, I mean, I watched the match, but just, like, I wasn't there. But I remember the match being a hard-hitting, stiff match. I remember Thatcher hitting headbutts, Roddy hitting his stiff knees, and, you know, hitting the super... I believe he had a superplex from the second rope, while Thatcher's on the top rope, if I'm correct. I just remember this being a stiff, hard-hitting match between both guys, as you expect, because Thatcher is a stiff, technical guy, and Roddy can, you know, pretty much be the exact same as well. So it was a stiff match, to say the least. Roddy won with the jumping knee to Thatcher for the 1-2-3, and then Roddy books it out of the ring. So it was a stiff match from what I remember. Just I was distraught from the Roddy moment, and, you know, of course, my friend I was having issues with. So yeah, I can't really go into detail about anything that really happened in that match, but it was pretty short. Remember, it was only like 10 minutes, so it was a fun match though. From there, I'm going to go to Trevor Lee versus Jeff Cobb. This was a fun match, you know, of course, another match where Jeff Cobb's a huge beast, and Trevor Lee is not a small guy, but he's not nearly as big as Jeff Cobb. I think he's taller, though, than Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's a small dude, he's just big. But this was a fun match, you know. Trevor Lee is an excellent heel in PWG as well, and he's utilized that against Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's just a fucking machine. I've never seen a full match of Jeff Cobb. I've heard his name for years, but I've never actually watched... never actually seen a match of his in full. I've just seen clips of it. And he was very impressive. I liked his work. I thought him and Trevor Lee worked pretty well. But this was a pretty solid match. Nothing really too significant happened here. But it was a good, you know, placement in the card, I believe, and definitely a good match here. Jeff Cobb got the one with a power slam, which I thought was a pretty weak finish, but he's a big guy, so he was impressive. He hit a standing moonsault and a not a standing shooting star. He did 2 standing somethings. I know one was a moonsault. I don't remember if the other one was a shooting star or not. But yeah, he was impressive. I was impressed by Jeff Cobb. Good match between him and Trevor Lee. From there on, we go to Chuck Taylor versus Trent. Holy fuck. This match was completely different than I was going into and expecting. Going into this match, I was expecting, your typical comedy Chuck Taylor-Trent match, where it's comedy spots and, you have some mixture of good wrestling as well, but mainly comedy. But this match turned to be a complete 180. It was billed as a singles match, and on the site it's still listed as a singles match, but this was guerrilla warfare. These two absolutely killed each other. There were tacks, chairs, ladders, you name it, they were involved. They were taking vicious bumps on the outside. They were spilling each other with chair shots. They were freaking backdropping each other on the outside. Apron spots. This was insanity. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was so blown away. The ladder was involved. There was a backdrop through the ladder. There was a drop toho onto the chair and bent the chair in half. There was just a lot of craziness. Tacks. Why do I keep calling it Tacks for? 'Cause I'm thinking of Timothy Thatcher. Tacks were introduced, which was just insane. This was just a hellacious match. Definitely, I would say, the 3rd best match on this show. It was just incredible. I never thought these two could put on such a great match. And honestly, this could arguably be both their best matches ever, singles-wise, of course. It was just completely different than I was going into it. There was really no comedy involved. It was just straight brawl. It was killing one another, and I absolutely loved every single second of it. And I thought it was a fantastic match, and both men really impressed me here. And there was a match of the year chant, by the way. That's how good this match was. Trent's back was beat to shit. And, of course, they both ended up landing the thumbtacks one way or another. They're able to avoid it, but they both ended up in it one way or another. And Chuck Taylor hit the awful waffle, I believe, onto the thumbtacks, onto Trent for the 1-2-3 victory. So Chuck Taylor defeats Trent. Afterwards, they have sportsmanship. They shake hands. They give each other a hug. And that was the match. And it was just absolutely, it was incredible. And it was an awesome match. Definitely completely different than I was expecting. So kudos to both men for killing each other and putting on an awesome match there. From there on, we had intermission. I just, typical, if you go to PWG show, intermission's your time to run down the street to the what was the store? It was a CVS, but CVS were assholes and were closed for some reason. So everyone had to go to the other gas station down the street a little bit further to get your drinks and run back to the show before it started again. Because the intermission's only like 10 minutes, if that, so you gotta hustle. So we didn't do anything intermission. I didn't get anything to drink because I wasn't really thirsty. So I went to the store, Luke got a drink, and then of course we ran back to the beginning of the opening match of the second half of the show, which was Marty Scurll versus Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan coming out as a space cat, had a cat hat on, and it was just, I don't know, it was weird. In this match, of course, I think the first half of this match is comedy. Of course, they played around with the space kitty or space cat gimmick, where Sami Callihan the crowd was hissing, and it was good comedy at first, and the match started picking up, becoming a pretty damn good match, but I'd say it's a good way to come back from intermission. The crowd was, probably a little bit tired, and this match was not the most hyped match, so I think it was a pretty good match to come back to. And the match got serious, like I said, towards the middle of it. Sami Callihan, I don't know, ever since he's been back in Independence, I've honestly haven't really enjoyed any of his work, and, I mean, him and Scurll put on a pretty entertaining match, to say the least here, but I don't know, I just haven't really enjoyed majority of Sami Callihan's work since coming back to Independence from WWE, so, I don't know, and he had a bicycle kick, which he clearly missed, which is a little thing. I mean, wrestlers do moves all the time that they don't actually connect with, but I just thought I'd point that out. So, I mean, it was a good match, like I said, it had a lot of comedy in the beginning of it, but it picked up into a pretty good, serious match between two of them. Pretty much getting their signature stuff in. Marty Scurll, doing the snap of the fingers, and, Callihan getting his signature stuff in as well. Marty Scurll won with the crossface chicken wing, so, solid match, entertaining stuff from both guys there. And then from there on, we go to the PWG Tag Team Championship match, which was originally supposed to be a non-title match. Young Bucks versus Death by Elbow, Chris Hero and JT Dunn. They come out, non-title announcement. Chris Hero goes, "Whoa, non-title!" So he pretty much complains that it's a non-title match. let alone some guy I think says fuck Chris Hero or something to the extent of bashing Chris Hero. Chris Hero calls him a Make-A-Wish kid and pretty much buries the guy. And we had about a 5 to almost 10 minutes, I want to say, pre-match promo of Chris Hero because that one guy, and Chris Hero just went on full shoot mode on him. And the Bucks shot on Chris Hero, agreed to make it a tag team title match, and there the match win. I thought this match was excellent as well. Both teams hard hitting, a lot of kicks, a lot of elbows. There's a lot of great wrestling from both teams. The Young Bucks are, in my opinion, the most entertaining tag team to date right now. They're little subtle things like, you know, Matt running for a cannonball, and right before he jumps into the cannonball, he goes, "I love you, Kevin Owens," and then, you know, Nick going for the swanton saying, "I love you, Jeff Hardy." Little subtle things like that makes me love the Young Bucks that much more. And then you just had your mixture of, you know, their tactics that make you laugh, and of course the mixture of great wrestling. You had Chris Hero and JT Dunn throwing elbows, killing the Young Bucks left and right. A lot of near falls. Death by elbow almost won the tag team titles numerous times in this match. Crowd was red hot. Definitely a phenomenal tag team title match here, in my opinion. Just a lot of fun. This match is all over the place as well. A lot of crazy bumps. I believe there was a doomsday device on the outside, or something to that extent, like similar to it on the outside, which is came off beautifully. I thought it was right in front of us. I thought it was awesome, and it was just an incredible tag team match. A lot of fun. Kudos to both teams, especially JT Dunn. You know, JT Dunn I'm pretty new with. I've heard another person, I've heard his name, you know, last year or two, and I'm just now seeing him, and I'm really impressed by his work. I think him and Chris Hero definitely make a phenomenal tag team, and then the Young Bucks put on a classic match here, in my opinion. Young Bucks won with a backslide, pitting Chris Hero, which, you know, to me, I wasn't surprised by. I actually kind of thought Death by Elbow might have won because of the subtle tag team title match change into it. So I thought it'd be a nice surprise for them to win it, but it didn't necessarily happen. Not going to complain, though. You love the Young Bucks regardless. So very fun tag team title match. Kudos to both teams there. And then we go to the main event, which was the Pro Wrestling World Championship title match. Of course, champion Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Kyle O'Reilly. Holy fuck, what a main event here. You know, I think a lot of people would think this would just be your technical wrestling match and that's it. And it was a technical wrestling match, but they were killing each other. There were a lot of stiff kicks, a lot of stiff jabs. Zack Sabre Jr. just taking Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly just taking it Zack Sabre Jr. This was an incredible world title match. This personified world championship main event title match, in my opinion. Just both guys going out there killing it, putting on arguably the best match on the show. Honestly, this match, the tag team title match, and Chuck Taylor and Trent, you can argue it was the best match in the show, and I wouldn't argue you at all with it because they were all on that level of greatness. They were just phenomenal matches, and I can't get over how amazing this main event was as well. Like, you know, I know a lot of people find technical wrestling boring, and it had a slow start, but it's one of those matches where it's slow, but it starts and goes and goes and goes and goes and becomes something really special and becomes something really great. And I thought both of them put on a clinic here. Wrestling at its finest, too. Arguably the two best technical wrestlers in the world right now. And they go out there and put on a clinic for the World Championship. And I thought it was an amazing match. Kudos to both men, just locking countless submission holds. Again, to the point where I thought Kyle O'Reilly was going to win the championship because there's so many near falls, so many near submissions where I thought, you know, they could have tapped at any moment. Just a classic wrestling match here. A classic world championship match, I should say, right here by both men. Kudos to both guys. Apologize once again for that. And just an awesome main event. Definitely blew the world title match from 2 years ago, Kyle O'Reilly versus Chris Hero, out of the water. Just two guys going out there killing it in the main event for the championship. It doesn't get any better than that. Zack Sabre Jr. submits Kyle O'Reilly with the submission hold. I don't even know because he has all these submission holds that are just too incredible. I don't even know the name of them half the time. So Zack Sabre Jr. retains. They lay in the ring, show of respect, and all of a sudden, Roderick fucking Strong comes out of nowhere. I believe he gives Kyle O'Reilly a sick kick, and Zack Sabre Jr. a sick kick as well. Demands a rematch right then and there, which when Roddy came out, I'm just marking out, and it was something I did. I'm not saying it's because it happened, but I did see this coming, and I don't want to sound like a smart saying, "Oh, I called it, I knew it was going to happen." But, you know, going into the show, Roddy and Zack Sabre Jr. had the match where Zack Sabre Jr. won the championship. I figured it's a loose end, and, you know, Roddy was the second match in the show, and he just bolted after the match. I knew there was no way that they're going to end the show, end Roddy's PWG career like that, and no way they're going to leave the loose ends with Zack Sabre Jr. and Kyle O'Reilly, or Roderick Strong, sorry. So when Roddy came out marking out, the crowd's going absolutely apeshit. Roddy demands his title rematch. The referee grants him the match. Match starts. I'm thinking Roddy's going to fucking win the championship and then vacate it for some reason. I don't know why I thought he was going to win it. But it starts off. It's a hot match. It's not a long match by any means. I want to say about no more than 10 minutes. But it was a fun, almost segment-like, because the crowd's red hot for it. There's some near falls. Of course, the Bucks came out and interfered, tried to help Roddy win. And Marty, Scurll, and someone else, I think someone else came out. I just know Marty, Scurll for sure came out to fight out the Bucks. Even the odds up to help, Zack Sabre Jr. And then it came out Roddy and Zack Sabre Jr. Adam Cole comes out to try and help Roddy. Doesn't work. Zack Sabre Jr. ends up pinning Roddy with the European clutch to pin Roderick strong in the middle of the ring. So it's a very quick match, but from bell to bell, everything that's going on, the craziness, just the crowd's red hot. The match was fun for what it was, and just the interference happening. It was a hell of a lot of fun there for. So yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. retains over Roderick strong. Roddy gets on the sits with Zack Sabre Jr. Gives him the championship and tells him, for now, pretty much signifying like, no, you're the better man for now. That's your championship. And Roderick Strong, gives a phenomenal farewell speech. The entire locker room comes out to say goodbye to Roddy. Roddy thanks everyone for, all these years. And, the greatest thing PWG brought him was his fiancée, Marina, who I believe he met at a PWG show because she's a mark. So she's also an MMA fighter. So I guess they just met at a random show and they started dating. And now they're, going to get married. So congratulations to both of them. I know they've been engaged since December, I believe. But congratulations to them regardless. So, yeah, Roddy just has a fantastic promo, the infamous line where he just says, "Fuck, I love wrestling." And just a very emotional, heartfelt promo by Roderick Strong. Definitely a great way to send him off. Before the promo, I forgot to mention, they teased the thing they did to Kevin Steen 2 years ago where the Bucks and Cole got in the ring and super kicked them. They teased the super kick Roddy. Then they said no, and ended up giving a hug to Roddy, which, the final curtain call for them, Mount Rushmore 2.0. Which I thought was great. And then after, of course, Roddy cuts the promo. He has a limited edition t-shirt he wants to sell to everyone here. Gets a small box. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm going to bid one. Get one, not bid one. But I want to say he had no more than like 20 shirts. He sold out very quickly. He didn't have many. Like I said, I want to say no more than 20, maybe 30. But I think that's pushing it. He didn't have very many at all. So I was kind of disappointed because I really wanted to buy a t-shirt. And I really wanted to meet Roddy, but thankfully Roddy was still taking pictures with fans, and I was able to get a picture with Roddy, as you guys can see. Pretty funny, because I went to Roddy, I was like saying hi to him, and like he looked at me like he immediately recognized me from earlier, from the guy that tapped him. So it looked like he recognized me, so I was like, this fucking guy. And then he quickly like said like, man, thank you very much, and I took the picture with him, told him thank you. He told me thank you back, and that was it. So. Thank you, Roddy. The t-shirt actually is on sale at ProWrestlingTees.com. It's available till today, actually. So if you're watching this video on Friday, August the... What's the date? The 5th? Yeah, August the 5th. Order it before the day ends. If you're watching after the fact, well, sorry, you can't get the shirt anymore. I definitely ordered it because I think it was an awesome shirt, and I definitely wanted to buy it off him there. But like, again, he sold out, so I wasn't able to get it. So I bought it off Pro Wrestling Tees. So I should be coming in soon. It's an awesome t-shirt. Love it. So I got a picture of Roderick Strong. That was the main person I wanted to meet going into this show. So I was very happy to meet Roderick Strong. And after that, I was walking around. I was like, you know what? I want to meet this guy. So I go out to him. I meet him. And it was none other than Zack Sabre Jr. I go out to him. I said, can I get a shirt in a large? He said, yeah, no problem, mate. Get in the shirt. I hand him a 20. And he throws a t-shirt on my shoulder. Like he didn't even give it to me. He just threw it on my shoulder like that. I was like, oh. All right, cool. Like he didn't throw it. He put it on my shoulder and like he patted it like to stay. I was like, all right, whatever, cool. And then I gave him a 20, and I don't know what the confusion was. I mean, I know what the confusion was, but he said it in euros. He said 30 euros. I was like, what? 30 euros? He goes, oh, $30. I was like, oh, $30 for the shirt. Because, everyone's selling shirts for $20, so I figured it's $20 too, but I didn't realize the shirt was a suplex shirt, which those shirts are expensive, and they're really, really nice. And this is a really nice shirt, by the way, too. Zack Sabre Jr., Rosita, California, made in the UK. Great t-shirt. It's the only t-shirt he's selling, so I had to buy that. Or buy nothing. So I bought that from him. I gave him another 20. He gave me a 10 back. Took a picture. So that was a pretty funny thing about, you know, going up to him, confusion about the 20 or the 30. So that was pretty funny. I thought it was funny because he said 30 euro. I was so confused, like, what, 30 euros? And he's like, oh, $30. I was like, oh, okay. And he was rocking a fanny pack too, so fanny packs are awesome. And yeah, after that, we kind of just left. We took one last, you know, look at the American Legion Hall, and then we just left. And that was the day. We went home. We're tired as hell after the show. Amazing show, by the way. I couldn't tell you if it was better than 11. I think show quality-wise, it might be better. I won't know for sure until I watch the Blu-ray of it. But I think the fun experience was definitely on the same page as 11. I definitely had very similar fun to it, and definitely had a great time. I can't really say which trip was, or which had the better experience. I think they're both equally as fun, if you ask me. I'm not just saying that, but I honestly do feel they're equally as fun. And I just really enjoyed the time I was there, and I thought it was a fantastic show from PWG. Definitely a great anniversary show, and I had a lot of fun. I had a blast, and thank you, Roddy, for, you know, he was a phenomenal heel in his last tender, his last 2 years of PWG, since PWG 11 when he turned heel and started going on the route until PWG 13. So the last 2 years, Roddy had the best run he's ever had in PWG, and it was nice to say goodbye to him and be there and take a picture of him. So it was very, very fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this come out in DVD and Blu-ray. Well, of course, Blu-ray, because you got to go on the Blu-ray nowadays. So looking forward to rewatching this show, having a lot of fun, watching my encounter with Roderick Strong, where he almost wants to kill me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video went a lot longer than I expected, but you know what? I really want to talk a lot about this show, obviously, so that's why it went as long as it did. Hope you guys stuck around for the entire video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comments below of the video. And yeah, as always, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.